So now I will be discussing a facade design pattern. So facade design pattern belongs to the structural design pattern, wherein we use objects in order to build huge structures. Fascinating, na? So the facade pattern is normally used when we want an interface that provides an easy access to the complex subsystem. I repeat, a facade pattern is used when we want to provide an easy access to the complex subsystem that we have. So in this example, I have a very complex subsystem here. Lots of classes connecting in a different ways. These two classes inheriting from this, there's another class, there is another class which is spread across. So this is a very complex subsystem that I have. And I don't want these complexities when I'm using that particular system. Then what to do? I want to simplify the structure. I want to simplify while talking to that structure. And that's when I use facade. So this is the facade. So the client talks to only facade. And facade internally directs your request to respective guys. So I'm talking only to facade from outside, and facade is directing request to this class or this class or this class on its own. So I have a beautiful real life example here. Now suppose there is a subsystem wherein you order some products online. Then we directly talk to customer service, right? So we directly talk to customer service facade. So the customer service is a facade. And then that customer service takes care of order fulfillment, takes care of the billing, takes care of the shipping. So this customer service facade takes care of order fulfillment, it takes care of billing, it takes care of shipping. So all complexities of this are handled by customer service, and we just talk to customer service from outside. We are not bothered about order fulfillment, we are not bothered about billing, we are not bothered about shipping, but we are bothered about only getting the product on time. So we only talk to customer service center. So customer service center is a very good example of what a facade is. I don't want to get into the complex subsystem here, but I just want to make it simple by talking to the customer service only. So customer service is a example of a facade. So is that clear what a facade is? So let's discuss few bits of the facade now before getting into the example. So before getting into the code example which I have on my screen, let's get more details of the facade design pattern. So the facade design pattern we normally use, okay, when we want an easy access to the complex subsystem. So structuring a system into subsystem helps to reduce the complexities. Like when I have a huge system, the first task that we do is we divide the system into many small subsystems. Why we do that? Because that improves the flexibility of our design. Dividing the huge system into many small subsystems, it will definitely improve the flexibility. So that's why we divide, right? So to reduce the complexities, we divide the system into many different small subsystems. A common design goal is to minimize the communication and dependencies between these subsystems. So that's our main design goal. That is, we should try to make these modules self-contained so that we have a less communication happening between these different subsystem modules. One way to achieve this goal is to introduce a facade object that provides a single simplified interface to the many potentially complex individual interfaces within the subsystem. So in the diagram that I had shown, there were many small subsystems, right? So suppose there was no facade, we had to individually talk to each of the subsystem classes, and that will be a mess. Instead, the best option is have a easy access. Just have a facade object, okay, that will provide a single simplified interface to us as a user. And we need not have to deal with potentially complex individual interfaces of each classes in the subsystem. So best to have a facade that provides a single simplified interface. So facade provides a unified interface to a set of interfaces in a subsystem. So it just provides one unified interface to us, to a set of interfaces which are already existing in the subsystem. So facade defines a high level interface that makes the subsystem very easy to use. The subsystem classes still remain available to direct use by the clients. Please remember that. The subsystem classes are still available for direct use by the client. So along with the facade, if some classes you want to use directly, no one can stop you from doing that. You can directly use the direct classes as well. Facade might pass a client request directly to the subsystem or add some extra functionality. So when we talk to customer service center, the customer service center can directly pass your request to the required billing section or order shipment, whatever, or it can do some processing on its own and pass the request with some added knowledge into it. Normally when we call centers, it happens to us, right? We talk to call center employee and that person may directly forward your request to the intended guy or can add extra knowledge in your request that will help the target guy to resolve your request. So the facade might pass the client request directly to the subsystem, or it can add some extra functionality as well. So facade can be of three types. Transparent. Transparent facade is one in which the clients choose to use the classes through the facade for easy implementation of directly. So transparent facade is the one in which clients choose to use the classes through facade for easy implementation. The opaque facade is one in which the clients can access the classes only through facade. This is very important. In opaque, clients can access the classes which are in the subsystem only through facade. Without facade, they can't access them directly. That's an opaque facade. And static facade is the third type of facade, wherein facade does not have any state. So clients call the facade without even instantiating it. So just to brief it again, what are the three types of facades? First is transparent, wherein clients choose to use the classes through facade for ease of implementation, or they can use directly as well. Second type is opaque facade, wherein the clients can access the classes in the subsystem only through facade. And the third is static facade, wherein facade has no state. Clients call the facade without instantiating it. So what are the advantages of using a facade? Facade isolates the clients from complex subsystem. It promotes the loose coupling between the clients and the subsystem classes. I repeat, it promotes the loose coupling between the clients and the subsystem classes. And the third advantage is it does not prevent applications from using subsystem classes if they need to. They don't prevent the clients from accessing the subsystem classes if they need to. So what are the three different advantages of a facade? First advantage is facade isolates the clients from complex subsystem. It isolates the clients from complex subsystem classes. Second advantage, it promotes the loose coupling between clients and subsystem classes. Third advantage is it does not prevent applications from using the subsystem classes directly if they need to. So what are the disadvantages of a facade? FOCAD introduces indirections that may affect the performance of the application, because now instead of accessing the class directly, I am going through FOCAD. So there are more indirections now, so it will definitely hit the performance of your system. So you need to have a thresholding between how performance you want or how much of simplicity you want while interacting with the customer systems or customer subsystems. So when do you use the FOCAD? Use the FOCAD if you want to provide simple interface to the complex subsystem. If you want to use a simple interface to a complex subsystem, use FOCAD. You can also use FOCAD when there are many dependencies between clients and implementation classes of subsystem. You can also use FOCAD when there are many dependencies between clients and the implementation classes of a subsystem. And third time when you can use FOCAD is client makes lots of network calls to different parts of the service and you want to reduce the number of calls and also provide a simple interface. If client is making lots of network calls here and there to different parts of the subsystem, and if you want to reduce the number of calls and also provide a very simple interface, then FOCAD is the answer for you. Okay, so now let's discuss the programming example for a FOCAD. So here I have three different departments which are listed here. One is miscellaneous department. So I submit a network request or I submit a request to this guy, and the state is the data member of this class. So when someone submits a request to this class, we are assigning state to 0. Then there is a check on status function. What it will do is it will increment the state, and if the state is complete it will return 1, else it will return 0. So here I have a enum called states which will have different states of this particular class. Like as soon as I get a request, it's in received state. Then it can go to n number of different phases, and finally when the request is completed by this department, the state is going to be complete. I repeat, there is an enum that we use here for this particular class whose first state is received. Whenever this class receives a request for processing, it's in received state. Then it will go in different stages as this particular class will resolve that issue. And once that issue is resolved, it will go to state complete. So this state variable will keep on incrementing. So when the network request is submitted, state is 0, meaning it is received. So then people keep on calling check on status to check whether the status of the request is complete or not. So I am incrementing the state, meaning I am going to the next state. And if state is complete, then I am returning 1 from this function, else I am returning 0. 1 meaning my work is complete, 0 meaning it is not yet complete. Then I have electrician union. Can you explain me this class now? Just like I have a enum states here, I have enum states here as well. So received is the first state as soon as I get a request, then it can again go through different states of processing, and once the request is completed by this particular class, it will go to state complete. Just for ease of explanation, I just used two states in my example. I just used received and complete. You can have n number of states here. Okay. Again I have a check on status. If the state is complete, you return a 1, else you return a 0. Then I have a facilities department. Exact copy of this guy. Again it will have n number of different states of its own. Just for simplicity, I just have added 2 states. Again here, when someone submits a request, state is 0, meaning received. If someone calls check on status to check the states of the request, it will increment the state, meaning it will go to a different state. And if the state is complete, then you return 1, else you return a 0. So till the request gets completed by this class, I will keep on returning zeros. Only when a state is complete, I will return 1. So are these three classes clear? These are basically three different departments: miscellaneous department, electrician department, facilities department. So as soon as the request come in here, state is 0, meaning it's in the received state. If someone wants to check the status, I increment the state, that is I go to the next state of this class and I return 1 only if a state is complete. Only after this request is completely processed, I am returning 1, else I am returning 0. Same goes with electrician union. Whenever a request comes, state is 0. If someone wants to check the status, I increment the state. If it is complete, return 1, else return 0. Same goes with facilities department. Whenever someone submits a request, state is 0, meaning it's in received state. If someone calls a check on status to check the status of my request, I increment the state so it goes to a different state. And if a state is complete, I return 1, else I return 0. So each different department can have different set of states. And all this is now complex subsystem of mine. As a client, it's difficult for me to interact to this, to interact to this, to interact to this. I have to individually interact with all these departments, and I don't want to do that because I want to reduce the complexity of interface. I want a single, unified, simple interface. I want a single, unified, simple interface. Hence, I am designing a facilities facade. Facilities facade will just give me a very simple interface, and I have to talk to only that simple interface. How simple is that? Instead of me talking to each of these classes individually, it's a best if I can talk to some guy who is a point of contact to me, and that guy will internally handle the complexities. Let him do na. Why should I worry about it? So I will just talk to facilities facade. This is just like the call centers when we call when we have issues in a product. So facilities facade will internally direct the request to the respective guys. So this is the facilities facade of my class. See how fascinating it is. It's a very interesting example here. So I have a facilities facade here, which is reducing the complexity of my interface, and internally it talks to different subsystem classes, and it makes my life really simple. See how. I have a facilities facade. So as soon as that object is created, it gets initialized. Then if see the very simple interface, submit network request. So if someone submits the network request, I am setting state to 0. Here also I have a state which is a data member of this class, and there is enum states, and these are the different states of facade class. I had received and completed as states of those three classes which we just discussed: miscellaneous, electrician, and the third one. So all those three classes had enum state in it. So facilities facade will have these states. Now what are these states? Received is the first one. Second is, after it is received, I am submitting it to engineer. After the request is completed by an engineer, I am forwarding it to electrician. After the electrician completes the request processing, I submit it to technician. And after a technician completes, my job is done. So when I get a request, initially I will go to received state. Then I will go to submit to engineer. Once the engineer completes processing that request, I will submit it to electrician. Once electrician completes processing, I submit it to technician. And once technician completes processing, we are done. Hip hip hooray. So now let's see how I do that. So initially I call submit network request. State is 0. When I say state is 0, it means it is just received. Then people will call check on status. People will check the status for completion of their request. So if the state is received, that is the very first time, yes, it is received, then I'm incrementing the state. So state becomes submit to engineer. And to the engineer object I called submit network request. So engineer object, electrician object, technician objects are data members of Facade class. So since I have received, I am incrementing the state. So state becomes submit to engineer, and I am actually submitting it to an engineer. Okay. So next time when someone calls check on status, is state received? No, because the state is submit to engineer. So it will come here. Is state equal to submit to engineer? Yes, definitely. It will come. Is engineer complete? So it will call check on status of engineer. So it will call check on status function of engineer class that we discussed in the previous slide. If it is complete state, then only it will return 1, else it will return 0. Only if engineer has completed processing the entire request, it will return 1, else it will return a 0. So if it returns a 0, then we are not incrementing it here. We are not incrementing the state of the Facade because it is not yet completed. Let again user call check on status. Again, is state submit to engineer? Yes. Now again call check on status of engineer. Has engineer completed processing the request? If engineer completes processing that request, only then you increment the state of Facade. So now we'll move to submit to electrician. And now you're actually submitting it to an electrician. Again, if someone calls check on status, now it will satisfy this condition because now we are to submit to electrician. Now check, is electrician completed processing the request? If electrician has not completed processing, it will return a 0. If it has completed processing, good, increment the state of Facade. So now we'll go to submit to technician and actually submit it for a technician. Next time when someone calls to check the status, it will satisfy this state is equal to technician. Check whether technician has actually completed the request. If technician has actually completed the request, then only you return 1, else you return a 0. So see how my Facade has simplified my task. Earlier I had to communicate with all the different subsystem classes and I had to do all data manipulation, tracking, all those stuff. But now there is a Facade which is doing that for me. So this is me. Main function is me. Facade is not me. Please remember. The client or a user is this main function. It's not Facade. So these are we. What are we doing here? I'm creating a Facade object. Then I'm submitting a request. And then I'm calling check on status of Facade object till it is complete. So till the job is complete, I'm keeping on calling check on status of Facade. So see how my life has become easy. So just to recap of how Facade is making our life simpler. In the previous slide, in this slide, if you just notice carefully, these are the 3 different subsystem classes. Miscellaneous department, electrician, facilities, you can have many others, engineer, technician, whatever it may be. So each of these are different subsystem classes. So suppose we don't use design pattern Facade, what will happen is we, that is the main function, have to communicate with each of these classes, have to bother about when each request is completed by which departments, after which each department completes that work, whom to forward it next. So all this bookkeeping we have to do, that is the main function have to do. We have to first submit it to say engineer. Once engineer completes, then we have to submit it to electrician. Once he completes, we have to submit it to technician. Once technician completes, we have to tell back to the user saying we are done. So the main function or the client have to do all this bookkeeping stuff, which is a bit complicated. I don't want to do all these complexities. I want to make my program as simple as possible. So I want to make my main as simple as possible. So these are three different classes which are independently handling the request. So all the complexities of handling that request in each respective department is the botheration of each respective department alone. So miscellaneous department will handle the request on its own here based on different states in which it has to go through. Electrician union will handle this request on its own based on different states it has to go through inside that department. And facilities department will solve the request on its own by going through different states inside that department. And now that I have a different subsystem classes, I have a facilities facade which will act as my controller. So facilities facade will have the enum of different states in which it goes through. That is, first the request gets received, then he is submitting it to engineer, he is submitting it to electrician, he is submitting it to technician, and once technician completes the job, hip hip hooray, my job is done. So when someone calls submit network request, state is assigned to 0, meaning I am in received state. If someone calls check on status, then if the state is received, I am incrementing the state of facade. That means I am going from received to submit to engineer, and I am actually submitting to engineer. Then again when someone calls for checking status, it will satisfy this because now I have submitted to engineer. Check whether engineer has completed working on that job. If engineer has completed working on that job, increment the state of facade, so it is submit to electrician, and actually submit it to electrician. Again, if someone wants to check the status, it will satisfy this because now we have submitted to electrician. So check if the electrician has completed working on that job. If yes, great, submit, increment the state. That means go to technician now and actually submit it to a technician. Next time if someone wants to check the status, it will match this saying submit to technician and check whether technician has completed the job. If yes, great, awesome, return 1. And see how easy it is for me. I'm just creating a facade object, submitting the request and keeping on polling till it's complete. I'm keeping on polling till it's complete. See how simple it is for me. So facade is handling all complexities of how to interact with each of the classes in the subsystem and decides the ordering, decides everything on its own. And for me it's very simple. So use the facade when you want to reduce the complexities of the interfaces. Instead of talking to n number of different complex subsystems, have a facade which is a single unified interface and just talk to that single unified interface. And let facade handle the complexities. Interesting, no? So that's all I had on a facade design pattern. Now that we have learned an adapter design pattern earlier in my previous sessions, and now we have learned facade design pattern, let's differentiate and see how is adapter different from a facade. Interesting, no? Adapter converts an incompatible interface into a required one. So when do we use adapter? When I have a client, when I have a server, but the server is having an interface that is not what a client is expecting. Client is expecting something, server is giving something else. So the interfaces are incompatible. So we introduce adapter in between. So adapter converts incompatible interface into the required one. It converts the incompatible interface into a required one. Whereas what facade does? Facade provides a simplified interface to a system. Facade provides a simplified interface to a system. It is not adapting, it's providing a simple interface. We had seen in an example, we had electrician, engineer, miscellaneous, technician. These were the different classes which were loitering around here and there. Instead of we talking to each of them, I simplified the interface. I just introduced a facade It's a very simple interface, and I'm talking to FCARD. So for a simplified, unified interface, FCARD. If you want to convert incompatible interfaces, adapter. If you want to convert incompatible interface into a required one, use an adapter. If you want a single unified interface, use a FCARD. The next difference is in adapter, client cannot access the underlying classes directly. Class is not able to access the underlying classes directly. They have to talk to adapter because the interfaces are incompatible. If class were able to talk to it directly, then why do we need adapter there? Right? We need adapter because client is not able to talk to server directly because of the incompatible interfaces. That's the reason we need an adapter, right? That's why in adapter, client cannot access the underlying classes directly. But in FCARD, clients can still definitely access the underlying modules directly. Clients can access the underlying modules directly. Now in case of adapter might perform some work before and after actual class is used. Adapter might perform some work before and after the actual class is used. It can do some pre-processing, it can do some post-processing. And what about FCARD? FCARD usually does not perform any processing before delegating the call to the subsystem. Very important point. FCARD usually does not perform any pre-processing or does not perform any processing before delegating the call to the subsystem. The last difference is one adapter may work with multiple adaptees at a time. One adapter may work with multiple adaptees at a time. How? Using object adapter. Now what is an object adapter? When adaptees contained inside the object of adapter, it's an object adapter. So you can compose any number of objects in one class, right? So when one adapter can definitely work with multiple adaptees at a time, but FCARD can work only with one subsystem at a time. Please remember that. FCARD can work only with one subsystem at a time. So that's all I had on my FCARD design pattern. Thanks a lot.